It's all about you with WYOU Interactive.
Welcome back. Our interactive topic tonight, the race for the 113th Legislative District. On the show to talk about it in our Scranton Bureau, the incumbent in the contest, Representative Frank Andrew Shimkus. Frank, thanks for being with us this evening.
Thanks for having me. Good to be back here.
Frank, we might as well deal with the elephant in the room. Your opponent was just here. He calls you the biggest abuser of per diems. He just falls short of calling you a liar. You've seen the memorandum cross-referencing the court testimony as well as the per diem records from the House. What's your take on all this, and will it impact this election?
It's a bunch of bull. It's all lies. It's all distorted facts. The people need to know that. He has a commercial on TV right now that says that I received bonuses. There's no bonuses. He has a commercial on TV that says that I wasn't in Harrisburg when I received per diems. Those are straight out lies. He's quoting himself. They are absolute distortions of the fact. Every single day I received those per diems, I was in Harrisburg. He's quoting testimony. The Scranton Times, which I know that you have been quoting some information from, had the story right. They saw the correct dates. They saw all the information. That silly memo that went out that you referenced is just so bogus. It's just so full of misrepresentations. I don't even want to talk about what he said because it's such distortions that when we had the debate the other night, every time he said something, I had to correct it. He was getting information from blogs and God knows where, and he accused me of trying to deceive the voters. He's the biggest deceiver I've ever seen in my life, trying to confuse people. Such a desperate attempt to try and take this. He's willing to go to any level, and it's really sad. It's really sad, Eric.
All right, well, let's see what the viewers think about all this. Annette from Scranton on the line. Annette, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. Representative Shimkus, how are you?
I'm fine, Annette. How are you?
I'm fine. Along the lines with this, so we'll call it the per diem gate, right. I just want you to know that I did appreciate your first term and thought you were doing a very, very good job for us. I truly believe you, and I trust you. And this per diem gate has raised doubt in my mind, and I know you're adamant on the way you feel. But when you read things and people talk, it does tend to raise that flag. Now, I want Go ahead.
I'm so glad you asked that because that's exactly what I want to talk about. There is nothing that I am ashamed of. I worked hard. You know, one of the things that I want you to understand is that I have been fighting for the people in the 113th district, and all he's been doing is fighting with me. I have been doing everything I can to bring jobs. You know, we were talking about energy, and one of the things that we talked about was rate caps. During the debate, he didn't even know about the rate caps. You know, I mean, so I have worked hard, and those things that you hear are what are called the politics of destruction. In other words, if you can't attack the guy's record, attack the man. And I'm just telling you, if you say that you know me, it's all a bunch of baloney.
Well, I feel I do know you. You preached at my church, and I enjoyed listening to you. You have good messages, and my question was going to be, how can we, as your constituents, trust you? But I think we can trust you.
All right, let's go to our next caller.
I will say that you can. Go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
All right, no, I just want to go to the next caller. Let's hear from Jerry from Scranton. Jerry, welcome to the program.
Yes, Mr. Shimkus, I'd like to ask you if you consider yourself a quick study. And you said when you went to Harrisburg, you were going to call the state representatives on the carpet for doing the same thing that you're being accused of now. Thank you.
I don't remember doing that. That's an interesting statement that you hang up so that I can't question you about it. But if you're asking me if I have been involved in reform, the answer is yes. We got rid of the $650 car allowance. We voted to make sure that we can't do any of these midnight votes. We get rid of the session at 11 o'clock. We created the Speaker's Reform Commission. I've been asked to be a chaplain on the House floor. As a freshman, I have been asked to be Speaker pro tem, which means that I preside over voting and non-voting sessions of the House of Representatives, unheard of. Plus, I'm on 6 different committees. I have been working, as I said in the first campaign. I think this should be the hardest job I've ever had, and it has been. So I don't know what you're talking about, but we have done a lot of reform, and I'm proud of my record. I'll stack my record up against any freshman in the legislature.
All right, well, Gene writes us this particular email. He says, Mr. Shimkus had his turn. He did not impress me. Mr. Murphy might not be any better, but we need a change in the entire state and country. Let me ask you this, Representative Shimkus, what are you most proud of when you look back at your record?
In my first term, I have either sponsored or co-sponsored more than 400 pieces of legislation. I was very involved in bringing Harrisburg to the people. Now, when you talk about saving tax dollars, we opened our main office at 117 North Main Avenue, but we have 4 other satellite offices. All are free. They cost the taxpayers nothing. Most lawmakers, believe it or not, rent their furniture. They go to a rent-a-center or something like that and rent their furniture. We had it donated so we didn't have to charge the taxpayer for it. We went in under budget. They give us a budget to run offices. We have 5 offices, believe it or not, 5 offices, so that people can not have any inconvenience going to get their property and rent rebates. And they're free. They're free. They've been donated by the municipalities, and we worked very hard, and we staffed them, so I'm very proud of that. Plus, I had one piece of legislation already signed into law by the governor, and after he signed it, one fellow who was there for 16 years said to me, he said, I've been here for 16 years, and I've yet to be able to pass a piece of legislation. So in 2 years, I've accomplished a tremendous amount, and I want to continue to do that for the people, Eric.
All right, we're right up against the break. We'll continue our conversation in just a moment, but first, Lyndall has more.
Eric, we heard from the challenger in this race, Kevin Murphy, at 6 o'clock. Here's more from Murphy on his reasons for running for office. He says, quote, I want to take care of people who can't fight for themselves. I want to be an advocate for the people, and that's my sole purpose for running for public office. More from the incumbent, Representative Frank Shimkus, right after the break.